Hello and welcome to the Health and Wellbeing session for The Huge Bag of Worries. This book was written by Virginia Ironside and illustrated by Frank Rogers. Here we have the front cover and the blurb. The blurb tells us a little bit more about the story. Before we read the story, can you answer these questions? You can use the previous slide to help you. We are now going to read together The Huge Bag of Worries. Jenny had always been happy. She had a lovely mum and dad, a great brother, well, most of the time. She had a best friend at school and she liked her teacher. And then, of course, there was Loftus. But recently, she had been getting gloomier and gloomier. It wasn't just one thing. It was everything. She worried that she was getting too fat, that Loftus had fleas, and that her best friend was going away. She worried that she was getting bad marks at school, and she thought she heard someone whispering about her in the playground. She worried when her mum and dad had an argument. She even worried about wars and bombs, until one day she woke to find a huge bag of worries. The bag followed her everywhere. To school, to swimming, to the toilet, and it stuck by her even when she was watching TV. She tried ignoring it, but it didn't work. She tried throwing it away, but it always came back. She tried to lock it out, but when she got back to her bedroom, there it was, waiting for her. It was like a horrible shadow she couldn't get rid of. What could she do? So she asked her brother for help, but he was busy with his computer game, and all he said was, "I don't know what you are talking about. I don't have any worries." After that, she didn't feel like asking anyone else. She knew she'd only feel stupid. Mum would say, "You've got no worries that I can see. You're a lucky girl. You've got your health, your friends, your family. What more do you want?" So she decided not to tell her. Dad might know what to do, but then she thought again. No, Dad had enough worries of his own. She couldn't ask him. Every day things got worse. The bag got bigger and bigger and bigger. She couldn't sleep because it kept tossing and turning beside her all night. To make matters worse, the bag dragged around her feet so much when she was walking to school that she was late and the teacher was cross. Jenny couldn't tell her what happened, and anyway, she knew what she would say. "You've got too many worries. In future, leave that bag at home." When Jenny told her best friend about the bag, she suggested that Jenny locked it up in a cupboard and try not to think about it. "That's what I do," she said. But it just didn't work. Even Loftus couldn't help. He tried his best and barked like mad, but the bag stood its ground. One morning, Jenny woke up, got dressed and walked down the road. She'd had enough. The tears started rolling down her cheeks. She sat on a garden wall and put her head in her hands. She thought she'd have to live with the bag forever. Then she heard a voice, and looking up, she saw the kindly face of the old lady who lived next door. "Goodness!" said the old lady. "What on earth is that huge bag of worries?" Through her tears, Jenny explained how it had followed her for weeks and got bigger and bigger and just wouldn't go away. "Now, Let's just open it up and see what's inside, said the old lady. But Jenny said she couldn't. If she opened the bag, the worries might jump out, and who knew what might happen then? Nonsense, said the old lady firmly. There's nothing a worry hates more than being seen. If you have any worries, however small, the secret is to let them out slowly, one by one, and show them to someone else. They'll soon go away. So Jenny opened the bag. The old lady sorted the worries into groups. Jenny was astonished to see how small they looked when they were out in the open. Half the worries disappeared because lots of worries just hate the light of day. As for the rest, the old lady put some in her shopping basket to deal with herself. Some she sent packing because she said they belonged to other people. Some she just blew a kiss to. And some she said were worries that everyone had, even Jenny's family, her friends, and her teacher. And as for the bag, here are now some questions to consider now we have read the book. So how do you think Jenny felt when people weren't listening to her about her worries? How do you think Jenny felt after the old lady helped to sort out her worries and let go of them? What do you think you could do to help deal and speak about your worries? And how did Jenny describe her worries? So here are some activities that you can have a go at. The first activity is called the worry jar activity. So all you will need is a jar. If you don't have a jar, a container or a box will do. Some paper and a pen or a pencil. So once you have found a jar, container, whatever you're using, decorate this and then label it with a name. For example, my worry jar. So once the jar is finished, you and an adult can write down all your worries on strips of paper. So one worry per strip. This helps take worries off of our shoulders and fill the jar. So place the strips of paper into your jar. Then when the lid is closed, it stops our worries from coming out again. Worry jars give our worry a boundary. So the worries are still there, but they've been acknowledged and expressed by words or pictures, and they're filling a space rather than our mind. It is very important, however, to still share and talk to someone we trust, such as an adult, about our worries. And this is why it's important to allocate a worry time. So your worry time might be between 4:15 and 4:30. And then you get your worry jar and you take out a worry and discuss this worry. What can you do to help with this worry? Talk to your adult about this. If you're no longer worrying about this, you can tear up this worry and throw it away. Never have the worry time before bed. Here is another activity that you could have a go at. So if you wish, you can close your eyes, but you don't have to. And I want you to think about your worries, what they look like, what they sound like, and what they feel like. So in the book, Jenny described her worries as looking like little monsters. So draw a picture of your worry or write any word to describe your worries. So you could draw your picture and write words around it, or you might just choose to just write words that describe your worries and how you are feeling.